All right, folks, welcome to tonight's latest in our Think and Grow seminar series. We're talking about resources and opportunities for women-owned businesses. This is part of a series of seminars that we do each month, all virtual, all free. And tonight we're focused on women-owned businesses. And this is part of an initiative here at the college as part of CCBC's Center for Business Innovation. We're really concentrating on three key areas: women-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses, and minority-owned businesses, and giving them the resources and the opportunities that they can use to grow their businesses. This is a huge challenge in our area that we're seeing among many of the startups that we work with at the Center for Business Innovation. And this is the first in a series of seminars where we're trying to give you those resources that you need to help you grow your business. And tonight we have Jennifer Funn. Jennifer is director of the Baltimore region of the Small Business Development Center at the University of Maryland. The SBDC, if you don't already know, is a terrific resource for startups and small business owners who want to grow and sustain their businesses. She is a former restaurant and catering service owner of a waterside historic inn originally built in 1849 in Anne Arundel County. She is also a former business owner and Main Street manager in Dundalk. Most recently, she served as a business startup specialist and retail revitalization program coordinator for Branch Avenue in Bloom, an award-winning community-based program in Prince George's County, which brought together a variety of resources to help revitalize a once blighted business community. The program was recognized by the Prince George's County Executive, Prince George's County Council, and even the White House. So without further ado, please everyone go ahead and mute yourself. And please, let's give a virtual welcome here, round of applause for Jennifer Funn. Jennifer, take it away.
Hey, hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me tonight. And what I'm going to be talking about this evening is the challenges of women-owned businesses. As it was shared, I'm a former business owner. And when I went into business, my restaurant was 200 seats, white tablecloths with 15 employees. And I was, at the time, I had a 5-year-old and a 15-year-old, and I was a single parent. So I had a lot of challenges as I grew and sustained my business. And I'm really happy that I had that experience, even though it wasn't easy, so that when I work with my clients, as people could say, I could feel their pain because I've experienced it. It's not theory. I actually had the application. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to share my screen. And again, I'm the regional director here in Baltimore County and in Baltimore City for the Maryland Small Business Development Center. It's just that Maryland. It is across the entire state. Every county has a consultant to assist you to grow, start, and sustain your business. This is a flyer for my region, and it has all of the contact information for my consultants. We also have a bilingual consultant available, and that I found very important. Now, I'm a Baltimore County resident, so I shop and I walk my dogs and I take my kids to school in this same community that you all are in and CCBC is in. So when I approach things in my business, I always say I wear two hats because I'm a resident and I'm a regional director. But I really think, again, that gives me a better insight to make sure that I'm servicing the small businesses. So again, this is our flyer. The Maryland Small Business Development Center not only is in Maryland, but it's also nationally. And all of our offices are connected with institutions of higher learning. So if you have a friend or a family member that lives in Texas or California or New York that wants to start a business, suggest that they look up their local SBDC. But for right now, I'm here to help you. So let me get my screen moving here. Okay, so the challenges of women-owned businesses. Now, I have a poll that I would like to be run. Are you able to run the poll with me sharing my screen? Because I wanted to ask you, and if not, you can put it in the chat box. Do you think that women face a different challenge in business than men? Can we see? Oh, here we go. So could you take a look at the first question and tell me yes or no. Do women in business face different challenges than men? Okay.
All right, responses are coming in here. And
I see.
Overwhelming. Yes, 91% saying yes.
Okay. And then we have question number 2. What is your biggest barrier to being in business as a woman?
Was a difficult choice among the 3. All of them are equally difficult.
Okay.
Well, according to our survey, 67% say funding, 46% say building a support network, and 22% say struggling to be taken seriously.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about that a little bit. Thank you so much, Dennis. Okay. So yeah, there are many surveys that show that women have different challenges. You know, there's a lot of stereotypical things and industries that are male dominated. You know, the other thing is we as women naturally have a lot of things to juggle. I always share with the business women that I mentor that no matter what your success may be, no matter how many deals you may cut during the day of your 9 to 5, if you're a parent, when you come home, you're mommy, I'm hungry. So, you know, or we need to help with the homework. And the pandemic really brought all of that out because women were hardest hit with the pandemic. Many women had to resign from their jobs because there wasn't childcare available. Some of the industries that women primarily work in, they were put on leave or they lost their jobs because of the shutdown. So here we are today. If any of you out there fall into that category and find yourself that now you want to start a business, hopefully from today's training, we'll be able to give you some advice that you can jumpstart and get all of your pieces in place so you will be successful. Okay, so here we are again. Let's see, I'm having trouble. Here we go. Okay, so first thing we do as women is we have to defy social expectations. You know, it's funny that women that may be assertive are considered to be bossy. But, you know, men, they'll say, oh, he's a go-getter. But a woman, she's bossy. You know, maybe someone may say if you're assertive that they may find that label you as being difficult because you put up barriers to your expectations. Sometimes people look at the way you dress and judge you whether you're power dressing or they think that you're not professional. And then it's very unfortunate that there's so much sexism out there that people think that maybe you were able to use your feminine persuasions to make it to the top, and not that you have a degree or you have work experience, that you earned that seat at the table. So the number one thing, you want to remain true to yourself. You know, if you like, you know, the way that you prepare yourself every day to face the world, then be that person, because you need to find your own voice. And you also want to be confident with who you are. You know, there's nothing more challenging in business when you work with someone that's confident. And that's a positive thing. Be confident, be strong, you're talented, you know, you have skills, you have experience. Be confident as you move forward. And know your strengths. You know, your strengths could be, you know, you're juggling things all the time in your personal life. Transfer those skills into your business life. You know, I was at Morgan a couple of years ago, and I was doing a workshop called The Side Hustle. And we went around the table asking people, you know, what were their business ideas. And this one lady, she said, I'm just a housewife. I said, you're what? You're just a housewife? I said, let me ask you this. Do you budget money for, you know, the grocery store, for your children's clothes? She said, yes. I said, okay, so you have financial management skills. I said, now, do you have to come up with a schedule and make sure everybody's at a certain place at a certain time? She said, yes. I said, okay, time management. You know, do you have to coordinate activities in your house to get things done, servicing? She said, yes. I said, oh, then you're a manager. So I said, so you multitask, so you're not just a housewife, you have transferable skills. And she was like, she never thought about that. And the most important thing of all is be confident. You know, I don't know how many of you know the singer Bette Midler, but I saw her being interviewed once, and she said that every morning when she looks in the mirror, she reminds herself that she's the baddest thing going. And you know what? If you don't feel that way about yourself, nobody else will. So when whatever your attire is, whatever your costume is in your clothing, your outerwear that you pick up and go out and face the world, know that you're the baddest thing out there. Be confident in your skills. Be confident in who you are, and be one with your voice. Okay, so now the other barrier that may be a challenge for women is access to funding. Funding is always something that'll make or break you. Not having money to move into your business will stall you in your tracks. So for those of you that are interested in starting a business, or you have a business, but you're just really launching it, take a minute to step back and think about your finances. How much money is it going to cost for you to start your business? You know, you have to spend money before you could start your business. Maybe you might need a certification. Maybe you might need supplies. Maybe you might need, you want to buy a building. You're going to need insurance. Dennis just mentioned you have to pay money to the state of Maryland to have your business be registered with the state. So the first thing you should do is sit down with a piece of paper or your laptop and just brainstorm about what it's going to cost, how much money do you need to launch your business. And while you're making that list, think about what are one-time costs and what are recurring costs. And when I say that is, okay, if you need business insurance, that's a recurring cost, right? Because you get your premium every month. Then even things that you may think is a one-time cost, equipment, supplies, those things run out, those things break. So, you know, think about what it's going to cost you, and are you going to need financing? Do you have enough in your savings account, or will you possibly need to take out a loan? So, Having a business is very similar to your home. What do we have to do in our personal life? We have to budget, right? We have to do the same thing when we have a business. You may, as you're coming up with that list of how much it's going to cost you to be in business, take a look at the industry that you're interested in launching, being a part of. Because if you look at the industry benchmarks, that will tell you and give you an idea of what your industry needs are, what the costs are to be in that type of business. And it may also be able to provide you with forecasting tools. Now, at the Maryland Small Business Development Center, we do have a research department, a clearinghouse, and a lot of clients, when we first meet with them initially and them being startups, we'll order them a research package. And in the research package, it'll talk to you about these things, what the industry benchmarks are, who your competitors are in your zip code, what licenses you may need, a sample financial projections, and also a sample business plan. So we have that service that available for you, but that is something that you will need. You will need to sit down and plan. I have to ask, how many of you, before you go out to do grocery shopping, or it's a Saturday and you have a lot of errands to run, you write a to-do list? Same thing with beginning your business. Sit down with a pen or pencil and think about, what steps do I need to start my business? And then if you find out that you need financing and you go to a bank, they're going to look at the 5 C's of credit. And you're going to hear about this all the time. Many presentations that talk about financing your business, we always share with you what the 5 C's of credit are. And it's not just your business. Even when you go to buy a home or buying a car, that's personal financing. But some of those same principles are applied to business lending. So they look at your character. Who are you? Do you pay your bills on time? And unfortunately, are you a convicted felon? If you are a convicted felon, the SBA, the Small Business Administration, will not secure your loan for you. So those are some of the things that they look at when they look at your character. They look at your capacity. What's your ability to pay it back? What's your credit like? What's your credit history? Do you borrow money? Do you pay it back on time? Do you foreclose on loans? What's your collateral? What's your skin in the game? You say you want to borrow $100,000, $200,000. Well, do you have any collateral that you can put up? Many banks may want to put a lien on your home if you have a home, or they want to see, do you have a strong savings account for 1K? What's your collateral to ensure the loan? And capital. How much cash do you have on hand? It's just that simple. Your character, who are you? Your capacity, your ability to pay it back, your credit, your credit history, your collateral, what do you have to put in the game, and your capital, how much cash do you have on hand? There is traditional financing. Again, you can go to friends and family. When I had my business, I sold shares to my family. I had a LLC and I sold shares. Some of my family put in a lot of money, some didn't. But again, we handled it as a business, as a family business. I was the lead, but we had shares. And then it wasn't like anyone was giving me anything. Everyone had skin in the game. So I'm smiling. So that way, when they came to my restaurant on a Sunday and there was a line of people waiting to get in, and I said, I need you to get up even though you didn't finish eating your food, because I got people waiting for you. And by the way, would you bust the table on your way out the door? They didn't mind because they had skin in the game. So, that's what I always recommend. If you borrow money from friends or family, take their personal aside and make it a business proposition. Personal savings. Maybe you've been saving money and you can use that for collateral or your capital if you need financing. Home equity loans, a line of credit. Many people pull money out of their home if they have it to start their business. Now, there are banks and finance companies and also credit unions. So many banks now have what they call SBA lenders, Small Business Administration lenders. And again, you do not get loans from the SBA. The SBA will guarantee your loan, but you don't take out a loan directly from the SBA. You take out the loan from the bank, whether it's Fulton Bank, Bank of America, M&T, Wells Fargo, and SBA will guarantee the mortgage, similar to those of you that are homeowners, and you have a loan guarantee, similar to that. Credit unions also are very kind to small businesses, so don't forget them if you're looking for financing. Now, there are some other financing options. And again, my business was food service, so a lot of the examples that I use are going to be from my experience, but it doesn't mean that that cannot apply to you as well. So you may want to use a leasing company. How can a leasing company help you with financing your business? Maybe the type of business you have, you need a car or a truck. So you're just starting your business. Perhaps instead of buying it straight out, maybe it would be better to lease it. Asset-based lenders. Okay, private lenders are also an option. Now, suppliers and vendors. Now, maybe you think like, how in the world can a supplier or a vendor help me finance my business? Before I had the restaurant, I had a coffee shop. And what I did is I contacted a local coffee company, and because what do you need when you have a coffee shop? You need coffee, right? So I talked to them about, getting all of my coffee from them. And in turn, what they did is they gave me all of the industrial coffee pots, the insulated cream holders, the sugar containers, stirrers. They gave me all of that because it was more important to them to get me to commit to buy their coffee from them, every week to keep them in business. And they were willing to give me everything I needed. And I have to tell you, the commercial coffee pots are very expensive. When I started my restaurant, I used to do Sunday brunch. And for those of you that love chicken and waffles, that was on my menu. And so people could get their fried chicken and then they could make their waffles. Well, those commercial waffle irons are like $400 a pop. I contacted a pancake company. And as long as I bought the pancake mix, they gave me 4 of those waffle irons. And I'll let you add up how much is 400 times 4. That's how much money I saved. So you got to be creative. You got to think out the box. Now, there are also angel investors, some people that are looking for a good business to invest, but they may want a piece of the pie. They may want a percentage of the business, but it's still an option. Maybe that might be the way you want to go. But there's also crowdfunding. And I'm sure everyone now is familiar with crowdfunding. But I'm going to suggest to you, if you're interested in doing crowdfunding, launch it as a campaign. Everybody has Facebook, right? So if you have a Facebook page for your business, start gaining interest, saying, crowdfunding coming soon, crowdfunding campaign coming soon. But have something, again, what do I keep talking about? Skin in the game. Say that someone, donates money, offer them something in return. I'm going to give you another example. We had a client that had a beer and pizza place in Ocean City. That's all he did. He was a brewery. He just had beer that he made, and he had pizza that he baked in the oven. Business is going great. People started to want him to ship the beer to them. He needed another piece of equipment in order to seal the beer so it would keep its, what would you call it? Its bubbles. But so what he did is he did a crowdfunding. So if you contributed $100, you got a t-shirt. If you contributed $500, you got a t-shirt, and you could come into his restaurant and drink all the beer you wanted for a week. But if you gave $1,000, he named a beer after you, you got a t-shirt, and you were able to drink free beer. His crowdfunding effort was a success. He was able to buy the equipment that he needed and grow his business. So again, if you want to do crowdfunding, just don't put it out there. Give people a little something, okay? Now, we talked about this, struggling to be taken seriously. When I was in the restaurant industry, it was a very male-dominated industry. I was the only woman out of all of the restaurants that I was associating with in Anne Arundel County. So I wasn't someplace far away or remote. I was in Anne Arundel County, and I was still the only restaurant owner when it came to the table in Annapolis at that time. So, you want to, it's okay to be powerful, but you got to know when to fight. You got to be strategic. Don't let people get your goat. Don't let yourself be bullied. You have a voice. Make sure you represent it. If you find yourself being the minority at the table, I'm not saying go into battle or have your fists raised, but, respect, gain your respect, have your voice. You should be heard, and never surrender. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard out there, but never surrender, because, there's a saying that a strong woman is not born. A strong woman is made from her experiences. And that's professionally and personally. So, female entrepreneurs have a determination and a drive to always be pushing towards the next mark or the next great thing. You may never feel as though you've gone far enough. And I will say that too. I find myself, my work ethic is very different than some of my colleagues because of the type of business that I ran. It's very, very stressful having 200 food tickets in front of you in the kitchen and people are waiting for their crab cakes. It takes a certain drive to be able to do that type of work. So, whatever your experience is that you can translate into what your current work or your current venture is, honor it and be proud of it. Own your accomplishments. A lot of times people get concerned, you think you're not doing enough. A lot of times a very small step can have a very big impact. So celebrate yourself. The day you say, okay, I'm going to register my business with the state of Maryland. I have the $300 to register my business. After you do that, even if you're the only person in the room, say, go on, girl, I got it. The day you complete your business plan, look in the mirror and say, I did it. The day you get your first dollar for whatever your business is, whether it's like me, baking pound cakes, if it's being a virtual assistant, if it's getting your first government contract, reward yourself because you deserve it. and remain thankful for every opportunity and every person who's helped you. And sometimes people may help you just by brainstorming with you. Sometimes people may help you by giving you a referral. Sometimes people may help you by saying, that's not a good idea. Maybe it's not. But then, sometimes people give you suggestions. I always say everybody's a critic, but sometimes people have pretty good ideas. And I also have found with my clients and myself, when people see that you're really moving forward, usually they really will assist you. Building a support network. Well, you guys, this is my support network. This is my team. Okay. But when I was in business, if you remember, I said I had a 5-year-old daughter. So I needed support. And your support being in business isn't necessarily always going to be your banker and your CPA. It may be, number one, your family. It may be your friends, your childcare worker. I found when I was in business, I didn't have time to clean my house. So I had to hire a cleaning service. But I'm going to tell you, your best friends need to be your banker, your CPA, your insurance agent, your lawyer, and your mentor. Your banker, first thing is when you're in business, you need to separate your money. Open up a business account. So many businesses during the shutdown, when the federal funds that were available to help people get over the pandemic could not apply for the money simply because they did not have a business bank account. So when you launch your business, when you register your business, the next day, whatever financial institution that you've been working with, stop by there, talk to the customer service representative, and ask them about their business bank accounts. And shop around. Some banks charge you per deposit. Some banks require that you keep a minimum balance, but then some banks do not. So you are a consumer. So see if that bank will be able to assist you with whatever your needs are. You need a CPA. I strongly suggest you have a CPA. I'm not a CPA, and none of these people in this picture are CPAs. But even though we know how to open, start, and maintain a business, still, your CPA is the person that's going to help you with your taxes. They're going to be the person that they can talk to you about how you should register your business with the state of Maryland. Should you register as a sole proprietor using your own Social Security number? Or should you register as an LLC, a C Corp, or an S Corp? It may depend on how much money they anticipate you bringing in, what your tax situation is. Have a CPA as your best friend. They're the ones that are going to keep you on the straight and narrow with your finances. Your insurance agent. Make sure you protect your liability. I have a story to tell you. When I opened up my coffee shop, the grand opening, we blocked the street off. We had a ribbon cutting ceremony. The county executive was there. Economic development was there. Oh, it was a big deal. About 2 years later, I was walking my dog, and when I turned into my driveway, there was a strange man there. And he said, "Are you Jennifer Funn?" I said, "Yes," like with an attitude because he was strange. "Yes." He says, "You've been served." The day that my coffee shop opened up, this woman claimed that she fell in the parking lot and injured her leg. Now, I was there that day. Nobody came running in saying, "Call 911, call 911. No one came in limping saying, "Oh, I just hurt myself. Can you help me?" Nothing until 2 years later when I got this summons. Now, I had closed the coffee shop and moved to another location for my restaurant. But you know what it was? I had insurance. So as long as I had insurance on the day of the event, even though I no longer had that policy, the insurance company had to honor that claim. Okay, so what the deal is, is I had insurance during that time I had the coffee bar. And closed that business, canceled that policy. I moved on to another location, had a different insurance company. But the day that lady fell, my insurance had to honor that policy, because that claim, because the day that lady fell and said she hurt her leg, the insurance was in place. So again, you don't think you don't need insurance because you don't have a storefront. You may want to have intellectual insurance. You may want to have business interruption insurance. You need to talk to an insurance agent and make sure that your liability is covered. And even some contracts require that you carry a certain amount of insurance. Your lawyer. You need to have a lawyer. You need to talk to a lawyer if you're signing anything. Don't sign anything until you have someone look at the document to make sure that you are protected. You know, I'll give you an example with the restaurant. I wasn't there one day and it was white tablecloth, so I had a linen service come in. Well, you know, everybody's a hustler, and the gentleman from the linen company was trying to get someone to sign a contract. I wasn't there. One of my staff members signed the contract. And of course, when I found out, I was like, I don't want to do business with these people. And they were, well, you have a contract. Well, call my attorney, and my attorney informed them that the person that they forced to sign the contract did not have signing ability because they were an employee. They were not the owner or anyone that I had given permission to. So have an attorney. If you're getting a lease for a building, make sure you have an attorney to look at it. But you know, when you're starting a business, your money may be tight. So look for free resources. Keep your eyes out at your local library. I was in Dundalk driving down Merritt Boulevard, and I saw a sign at the library saying, you know, free legal consultations for 30 minutes for a certain time. Use that service. University of Maryland has a free law clinic. Reach out to them. You know, use that service if you cannot afford legal services. And also at the SBDC, I do classes here in Baltimore County that has an attorney, and she comes in and you can just ask her any kind of business question you want, and she will answer it for you, and it's at no cost. So look for those type of services. And lastly, if you can find a mentor, it is very important. You know, that's another challenge for women. We don't really have mentors. You know, when I was in business, I had 2 mentors. They were both men, and they did not look like me at all. But I learned a lot from them. I took classes at Anne Arundel Community College, restaurant management, as I was waiting for my restaurant to be built out, but that was theory. But what those other 2 men taught me was application. And I find myself, I've been out of the restaurant game for years, and now I'm a regional director, but at times during my business day, I still hear their voices. It may be not the subject they were talking to me about, but I could apply that same theory to what my business issue is at that time. But we're going to talk some more about mentors. So the reason that it's important to have a mentor is, like I said, you're going to get experience from them that you can't get in the book. You're more likely to be successful with a mentor as well, because again, they can tell you, they're telling you the real deal. You know, it's like the businesses that I work with, when I'm looking at their business plan and they're planning to open up a brick and mortar, and I'm looking at their finances and I say, I don't see snow removal on here. And they're like, snow removal? I'm like, yeah, if you're going to open up a business, a brick and mortar, if there's a snowstorm, you're going to be responsible to remove all of the snow from in front of your building and the parking lot. That can cost you like $500. Oh, Miss Funn, I didn't think of that. You know, it's just little things like that that maybe it doesn't cross your mind, but it's the importance of brainstorming with people. A mentor can give you reassurance to say, you're really doing good. You're on the right track, you know, and share what their experiences were when they first started their business. A mentor can also help you stay in business longer because if their business is successful, that will give you an opportunity to learn from them. Mentors can also give you referrals. My restaurant mentor, he gave me so many referrals. He had me cooking for the governor of the state of Maryland. He was very politically in tune. And even though he had a restaurant, he kept throwing me opportunities. That's a good mentor because he knew my success was his success as a mentor. So it really went well. So I must say, again, try to find a mentor. It may not be a woman, it may be a man, but someone that you trust, someone that you respect, and someone that's willing to work with you. And SCORE is an organization that pairs retired professionals with business owners. And that's where I found my mentor, was with SCORE. And again, after I closed my restaurant, we remained friends, and he really helped me a lot in my business. So I'll always be grateful for that. Okay, so let me ask you guys this. What do you guys think about balancing business and family? Do you think that a work-life balance is a reality? We have another poll. I only see the question number 1 and 2. Can we see question number 3?
I'm not able to show it, the entire thing, but the
put it in the chat
response
box.
is overwhelming. 98%.
Oh, you can see it.
Yep.
Okay, tell me again, Dennis, what it is, please.
98% said yes.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, and you know why I'm smiling is that a lot of people, you know, I've heard people, oh no, there's not such a thing. But you know what? It's individual because it's unique, because it's going to be something that's going to fit your needs. So parent entrepreneurs have dual responsibilities, right? It's like I had said in the beginning, no matter what your success is, you still have to come home and be mom or dad to your kids. So it's really important for you to manage your time. You know, give yourself enough time to get things done. Don't overschedule yourself or you'll become burnt out. The more control you have of your time, the less stressed you're going to be. I hope that everyone agrees with that. And also learn how to say no, because you can't do everything. Evaluate your priorities at work and at home and try to shorten your to-do list. Okay, and it's okay to delegate. You know, it's okay to delegate your work to someone when you're in business if you have a staff that you're confident, and I'll say that again, confident that they can do the work. Because if you're not doing it, that person is representing you. But it is okay to delegate. You don't have to do it all, and you can say no. Share your concerns and possible solutions with your employer, employees, or others. And, you know, when you quit accepting tasks out of guilt or a false sense of obligation, you'll have more time, you'll have more time for activities that are meaningful to you. That's how you're going to find your balance. You know, when I was in business, my reality check for me one day, because, I would leave to go to the restaurant as soon as the kids went to school, but I wouldn't come home from the restaurant until midnight. And I don't know what it was. A Sunday, for some reason, I was home. I don't even know. And I could hear my little girl crying and saying, "Mommy, please be home. Mommy, please be home." And when I walked towards her and I touched her, she was burning up. And I had to rush her to the hospital. That was when I had my moment of my work-life balance. And that's when I started bringing her with me to the restaurant. I hired a babysitter to watch her in my office so I could be there with her. But, that was, again, part of my work-life balance, to try to keep my home in a place. And I had to keep my business on track because my business maintained my home. So again, your work-life balance is just that, yours. It's as unique as you. So whatever it takes to make it happen, do it. If it keeps you to be able to remain focused on your business, do it. But, because you can focus on your business if home is okay. So there are many strategies for achieving a healthy work-life balance. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit before in the other screen. You want to prioritize your time. Okay, determine what's important, what's productive, what you can let go. It's important to establish boundaries on your availability of your hours. Perhaps you can't volunteer anymore. You can't, do the work at your church that you used to do because now you have a business and you're trying to find a happy medium of your business life and your personal life. Because I can tell you, for those of you that are in business or have been in business, this is the deal. When you're in business, you can look to your right, you can look to your left, you can turn all the way around if you want to, but do you know where the buck stops? With you, because there's no longer a supervisor that you can say, "Oh, he'll do it." No, that's all you. So, find your boundaries and consider your schedule. Use a calendar. We all have iPhones and computer programs and Google that we can use to do our schedule. If we do a calendar and we track our time, again, that will help you not be so stressed because, again, you're working at your balance. If you're struggling with balancing your work and your personal life, be honest and talk to your friends, talk to your partner, talk to people that care about what you're trying to do, and see if they can step in to help relieve some of the pressures that you're under. Now, we've talked about financing, we've talked about work-life balance. Let's talk about your roadmap to success. And that roadmap is your business plan. Okay, so your business plan really looks very similar to this diagram you have right here. I have right here. Okay, so number one, as you get ready to do your business plan, you need to do your research. We can help you at the SBDC with some of your research. You can use Google to do a search. You can go to the library, but do your search and your research. And another tool that is a really good research tool is the Census Bureau. People usually just think about the census as the people that knock on your door and ask how many people live in your household. No, they're much, much more. They can assist you with what type of businesses are in the geographical area that you're interested in opening your business, the type of businesses, the number of people that work there. They can tell you what areas are considered low income, high income. Use the census as a tool to do your research. And that is something that you can also do, again, online. Okay, list your financial management plan. We talked about obtaining financing. That is something that you would need to do to prepare your business plan. Financial projections, how you're going to manage your sales, how you're going to pay your employee. All of that needs to be in your financial management plan. Identify your legal form of business. Are you registered with the state as an LLC, sole proprietor, a C Corp or a S Corp? That should also be listed in your business plan. Identify any licenses or permits that you've obtained. Perhaps you want to become a child care provider. Well, you're going to need to have a license for that, right? Maybe some of you are interested in becoming a CPA. You may have some type of license or certification for that as well. So make sure that you have, all of that information that is required. List your marketing plan. How are you going to let people know that you are in business? I always tell my clients, if no one knows that you're in business, do you really have one? So, you want to really think about your marketing. And, there's so many avenues that are available with marketing right now. I'm sorry, you guys. My dog is at my feet. Stop it. So many marketing tools are available now. You can have a business Facebook page. You can put things online. You have your website. You can Twitter. There's so many things that you can do that are really free and available to you to market your business. Take advantage of them. There are a lot of classes on digital marketing. Try to sign up for them. We offer some classes at the Maryland Small Business Development Center, and all of our classes currently are virtual as well. So see if there's a digital marketing class that you can take. Now, you may want to also become a certified woman or minority-owned business, and there are benefits to that. There are benefits to that. For those of you that maybe are interested in contracting, government contracting, if you become a certified minority or woman-owned businesses, they are supposed to give you preference because they consider you, again, a business that may be behind the eight ball. So they want to try to give everyone a fair shake. So again, and if you have a team, make sure you list all of the members of your team and include their resumes. So with the diagram that's here in front of you, your business plan, you want to list your key assets. What's your niche? What makes you stand out against your competitors? Structure. Who's the president? Who's the manager? What are your support staff? And if you have them listed in your business plan, make sure that you have their resumes. Funding. Are you going to need funding? If you need funding, you need to have a balance sheet. Whatever the bank is asking you for, make sure you have it. The dollar amount, what you're going to do with the money that you're asking to borrow, when you're going to pay it back, and how much are you going to pay it back and what kind of intervals. Brand, what's your brand? Who are you? What makes you stand out? Again, what's your niche? How are you going to market to people that you're selling your wares to? Because I don't care what you do, whether you're a contractor for the federal government or you're making jewelry, you still have a product and you're going to receive compensation for it. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. There we go. So coping with the fear of failure. Let me tell you, what did I say in the beginning? Strong women are not born that way. They're made from their experiences. Failure should not be viewed as a negative, okay? Because it is not. If whatever you're trying to do, you're learning something from, it's a success. You know, I always think about my restaurant. My restaurant closed during the Great Recession. At that time, my restaurant was a destination. It was in a little waterside town that people had to drive to. There wasn't even any public transportation to get there. So when the recession hit and gas was almost $5 a gallon and people were losing their houses, nobody was driving down to the shore to spend $100 for crab cakes. So I determined to close my business, but it wasn't a negative. I think about my children that work side beside me. My 5-year-old, as soon as someone would come in the restaurant, she would run to the hostess stand and say, "Hi, my name is Taylor. How many people in your party?" And everybody, "Oh, that is so cute." You know, so then they wanted to come back because they felt it was a warm, cozy place. That was a positive. Okay. And also when you hear no again and again, when your plans don't turn out, or if you make a costly decision, see that as a teaching moment. You know, learn from your mistakes. I'm going to give you another example. The first Mother's Day, I had the menus. It was a madhouse. People were walking out. I ran out of crab cakes. I couldn't handle the business. So I really stunk that day. I did really bad that day, but I learned from that mistake. So when Father's Day came, guess what I did? I had a buffet. So I didn't have to worry about people ordering from the menu. I learned from my mistake, you know, so use everything, all of your bumps and your bruises, consider it a teaching moment so you won't experience that again. The road to success is paved with losses, mishaps, and mistakes. But if it still takes you where you want to go, as long as you don't lose sight of your ultimate destination, then that is a success. And if you do all of those things, hopefully you'll be able to find a work-life balance, and it will lead to your pride of your business success. And to share, we are having on January the 10th, a no-cost 4-day training at Towson, and it is virtual. If anyone is interested in attending this, I invite you. And as I had shared with you about an attorney, we will have Attorney Cooper at one of these sessions, and she doesn't do a PowerPoint. She doesn't have handouts. The only thing she says is put your questions in the chat, and she'll answer any question as it relates to business at no cost. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate you having me here tonight. If there are any questions, I'm more than happy to answer.
All right, Jennifer, thank you very much. This has been terrific. And we had a couple of questions in the chat, and one I'd like to address as far as mentoring. We had a lot of discussion about that. In addition to scores, some other recommendations that you would have for finding mentors.
Well, I would say that you could, if you know someone that's doing the type of business that you're doing, talk to them. You know, ask them if they would be your mentor. You know, just, you know, and it's unfortunate, don't think that you would be in competition with them, because believe me, there's enough money for everyone to make. And also, if you can partner with a similar business, again, you can make referrals back and forth. You know, and if you decide to work with the Maryland SBDC, the consultants do act somewhat as mentors. A lot of times my clients call me a mentor, and I'm writing that I'm their business consultant, but again, some of the conversations, because I feel their pain and I can give them recommendations, they consider me their mentor. But yes, reach out to people that business organizations as well in the industry. They may have a mentorship program.
Yeah. And conferences is a great place to find mentors, people that you're impressed with as you're networking, especially when you're first getting started. Go to those conferences where you are in your area that you're working in, and strike up those conversations. And the SBDC conference in January, when and where again is that?
The conference, the Maryland Small Business Development Center will be having a conference in January 26th, and it's virtual. So wherever you are, your car, your office, your living room, you can join us, and it is at no cost.
That's awesome. And and just to remind everybody, we are also going to be hosting our Be More Bold business conference for entrepreneurs and innovators. This is going to be live in person, probably one of the first ones that we're able to do again like that. Monday, June 13th, we have Clarence Wooten, CCBC graduate, made it big in Silicon Valley, who will be returning. We will have also Clifton Talbert, who wrote the book, Who Owns the Ice House? Many people are familiar with that. It's a Pulitzer Prize nominated writer, terrific book that I think everyone will enjoy hearing his story. It's an amazing story. We have lots of other speakers. We're going to have 3 tracks. We're going to have tracks for startups, tracks for current business owners who are looking to grow, and we're going to have a track specifically on funding, because we know that's a hot topic and that's a challenge for everyone. But I also want to bring back Angela Kivas and have her say a few words to help close out this evening's presentation. Angela is that face behind all the emails that you're getting. Angela, say hello.
Hi, everyone. So nice to meet you. I have to applaud Jennifer, and we can all give her a clap. Jennifer, great advice. I was taking so many notes. I feel like you empowered so many of us women, and I can't even, all this stuff that we took down with your advice. And I saw it in the chat too, how everyone was so thankful and all that you're saying. I'm going to get out the video to everyone that attended. I will also get a short survey out, and a lot of this information that's been discussed, that Jumpstart for Business SBDC is doing, our conference, I get you that information as well. But it's a pleasure to be here with everyone. We have Think and Grow starting again in the springtime. So, look at our website, see the information that's out there. But again, thank you, Jennifer. Applaud.
Absolutely. Yeah. So stay tuned. We're going to be doing a Think and Grow seminar in February for veteran business owners, and then in March for minority business owners. So much more to come. Jennifer, thank you very much. You're getting rave reviews here in the chat. Hope you're able to see them. Thank you for taking the time this evening. And to everyone who joined us this evening, thank you. And we look forward to hearing more about your successes, and continue to stay with us here. We'll have more information as we continue. Thank you, everybody, and have a great night.